Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Tonight Show podcast for today, the 18th of December. It is the Christmas special today. It is also the last podcast of this for 2025 because over the next 2 weeks, well, of course, next Thursday is Christmas Day. And then the following week, it's New Year. New Year celebrations. Wow. So I'm sure me and Zach will be enjoying well-deserved breaks over the New Year period. So I thought we'd do it today, the Christmas special. We're still going to talk about some normal news and the sports news, including the World Championship darts, which I must admit we've both definitely been watching over the last few days. I've been catching up on the highlights for sure. So I'm joined by late party sport with Zach Chambers to run all the latest news. Hello, Zach.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, mate.
We'll certainly try and bring you festive content as well on the show. Obviously, the schedules are out now for the festive period with the TV magazines. If you're going to purchase them already or you've seen them online, enjoy what's coming on over the festive period for sure. We're going to start tonight now with the sports news. I want to start with sports news tonight. Why not? So we'll start with the football and then we'll go on to do the darts afterwards because I've got quite a mouthful to explain about the Ali Pali. Let's start with the football. As well, I don't know. Obviously, we're going to go over that as well when regarding some of the other matches. Just to let you know, there is only one Boxing Day fixture, which is the Man United Newcastle game. That's at 8 o'clock, Friday, 26th of December. So, following the last week's fixtures, match day 16, Chelsea were 2-0 winners against Everton. Liverpool, Brighton, 2-0 Liverpool. Burnley lost 3-2 against Fulham. Arsenal won 2-1 against Wolves. Surprisingly, Wolves actually, well, despite being rock bottom, gave Arsenal a good game there. Man City 3-0 against Crystal Palace. Well, didn't quite Crystal Palace beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool, but Man City were too strong for them. Sunderland beat Newcastle 1-0. Nottingham Forest 3-0 winners against Spurs. Very bad result for Thomas Frank there. Villa continued their very impressive run with a 3-2 win over West Ham, who are currently struggling still. Leeds and Brentford was a sit on the fence, 1-1 draw, and 4-4 in the Man United Bournemouth game. Talk about that for a 8-goal thriller. And in this week's matches, 12:30 kickoff, we'll see Newcastle versus Chelsea, Wolves and Brentford, Man City, West Ham. Obviously, these are the 3 o'clocks will be from Wolves, Brentford onwards. Man City, West Ham, Brighton, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Burnley, 5:30. Tottenham, Liverpool. Saturday, the 20th of December, 8 o'clock. 2 8 o'clock kickoffs to be precise. But Leeds, Crystal Palace, Everton versus Arsenal. Villa and Manchester United will play at 4:30 on the Sunday. And then Monday night football, we'll see Fulham take on Nottingham Forest. And then obviously matches after that will be one Boxing Day. And then the 27th and the 28th, there'll be matches over the New Year period as well. There's in fact actually matches on the midweek, but we'll kind of go over that later into the new year and recapping some of them fixtures. So that is the New Year fixtures. We also, I think, had some Carabao Cup action as well. Obviously, EFL Cup, whatever you call it. There's also some more matches next week, I believe. Looking at that, could be the draw for the quarterfinals, I think, or semi-finals for that tournament. So Zach, plenty of football, particularly here in the UK, over the last week.
Yeah, definitely, mate. There's been a bit of action over the weekend. We obviously saw as well, and there's obviously a lot coming up over the New Year period as well. I think we've got three sort of round of fixtures coming up over the weekend. As well. The previous one, there was quite some exciting games in there, quite some surprise results. Some returns, some not so returns as well. You had the time where Derby, where Sunderland beat Newcastle 1-0. You had Palace v City, where Man City won 3-0 there as well. Forest managed to get 3 over Tottenham, a surprising one. Aston Villa, late winner for them over West Ham. The highlight for the weekend for me, though, has to be Man United v Bournemouth. 4-4. Woo! That was a match to watch and a half. I mean, you struggle to think it would win that match at times, because it was literally chaos after chaos after chaos after chaos. Let me tell you what happened towards the end of the game. Goals from Cunha, El Junior Cabrapi as well. That was the last set of goals. But you had Diallo score first. Then you had Casemiro, and then we had a little like mini comeback from Bournemouth just after the second before the just during the second when the second half started. It didn't result in anything, I'm afraid. It was unfortunate that they didn't get the win, but it was a very good match overall as well. So yeah, looking ahead, as I mentioned as well, 3 sets of games of fixtures, I believe, of the New Year period as well. So this weekend, you got, for example, a couple of games I want to point out. Tottenham Liverpool at 5:30 this weekend. That's the key one there. Everton Arsenal, 8 o'clock as well. Then there's only one Boxing Day fixture this year. Normally get a whole heap of them over them. But this year is a sort of normal weekend round with just the one game on Boxing Day. That's Man United v Newcastle. And then some other highlights you got in there is Chelsea Villa at 5:30. So you got Palace Spurs at 4:30 as well on Sunday. And then we got a midweek set of fixtures on the Tuesday and the Thursday. And they're split between days. I'll give you some highlights to look out for as well. Arsenal Aston Villa 8:15 on the 30th of December. Chelsea Bournemouth, that's another highlight as well in that one. Man United v Wolves 8:15. Then the New Year game, which is the first 4 matches of 2026, will include Palace Fulham, Liverpool Leeds, Sunderland Manchester City, and Brentford v Tottenham. That is the first set of New Year's fixtures to look forward to as well. Going to the Carabao Cup, let's mention that as well, because there was some fixtures over the last couple of days. I don't think there's any real surprises in the results, to be fair. You got Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, all won their matches. Not really that a surprise in that instance as well. We've got one more quarter-final game to be played next week on the Tuesday. It'll be Arsenal vs Crystal Palace. We had the draw already for the semi-finals. So it'll be Newcastle, Manchester City, and Chelsea will be playing either Arsenal or Crystal Palace in the semi-finals. That could be a big game actually. Arsenal Chelsea, if it goes to 2 legs in that one as well, could be a very big set of fixtures there. As well, so yeah, that's that's a good set of rounds to look forward to in that one as well. And then there's the UEFA Conference League, the final round of fixtures taking place this evening as well. Last time I checked, Palace were I did actually say last time I checked, Palace were drawing, they're now losing against Kupus, which is not great. Because provisionally, I don't know where this puts them in the table. Provisionally, they are, if this loads correctly, if I can move around a little bit, or maybe not. There we go. It's a bit slow, but provisionally, I think they are 15th. So they are in the playoffs. They are going to be in the playoffs, but they're not ideally. They would want to be going through. To the top 8, which is a bit unfortunate as well. But it is what it is. And yeah, that's not great for them as well. But yeah, Palace are losing, which is unfortunate as well. And yeah, let me just talk about the darts as well. Sorry, my screen's a bit frozen.
So we're going to talk about the World Darts Championship now. And I'll tell you what, okay, this is what we are going to be talking about most of the show. Well, not most of the show, but the start of it, because I'm going to get up some results over the last week. And I tell you what, okay, there has been some big results. Obviously, we just can confirm tonight Dave Chisnell won 3-0 against Fallon Sherrock. Sadly, she crashed out at the first round. But the shock tonight for me is Mike De Decker is out after losing 3-2 to David Munai, if I can pronounce his name correctly.
What a game.
In a very close. And also another shock for the other day, Cameron Menzies went out as well in his first round tie. Raymond Van Barneveld, he looked pretty rubbish going out against Stefan Belmont. James Wade won 3-0. Martin Schindler went through. Alan Suter, very messy match on the doubles, but still won 3-2 against Timon Harju. Gerwyn Price won 3-0. Danny Noppert won. Chris Dobie won. Peter Wright won 3-0. I mean, and Simon Whitlock going out against Connor Scutt. And Brendan Dolan won 3-2. So, Zach, a lot of the top seeds are safely through to the next round. But sadly, though, some fell at the first hurdle, including Ross Smith as the shock.
Yeah, there's a few shocks as well that's happened today. I have to say, one of the surprising shocks, to be honest, has been that Mike Dedekimat, as you mentioned as well. I mean, blimey, that was something as well. Yeah, there's been so much going on. Mike Dedeker losing 2-3 to David Munya. That's a real surprise there as well. And then you had Matt Campbell losing his tour card yesterday, going out as well. Raymond Barnabout going completely out as well by Stefan Beaumont. James Wade managed to win quite easily on his one. Nico Springer going out against Joe Cormedia. Gerwyn Price had a good start. Chris Dobie winning quite easily as well. Nick Kenny's winning well. Alan Suter winning as well. Connor Scutt beating Simon Whitlock. Quite crack of that one. Martin Lukeman having a howl against Max Hopp. Cameron Menzies. Now, Cameron Menzies, wow. Did you see his reaction after he lost? He punched some tables. Very, very unsportsmanlike. But at the same time as well, it was quite the shock anyway, losing to Charlie Manby as well. Let's go others. Wesley Palmer beating Luke Swang. Dimitri Van der Burg, my goodness, losing 3 against Darren Beveridge. Stephen Bunting nearly had a scare against Sebastian Blacki as well. That was nearly something. You had Luke Humphreys winning his quite easy against Ted Everett. Paul Lim, I give a shout out to Paul Lim as well. The 71-year-old winning 3-1 against Jeffrey DeGraff. That was quite clearly something on that one as well. You nearly had Adam Hunt taking out Gary Anderson. Quite an easy one for Andrew Gilding. David Hemmett had to win 3 against Steve Lennon as well. Ross Smith out. Yeah, that was a bit of a poor one for him. Kim Highbrecht was also went out as well, going quite spectacular fashion against Armin Merck as well. But yeah, so there's a few surprise results across of it as well. Dave Chidl's just gone through, and next matchup is Michael Van Gogh against Mitsuhashi Takumi as well. Also, I just want to mention as well another result which I'm really interested to mention. Motomono Suaki beating 3-0 against T-Bolt Trickle with one of the best ring walks you could ever see throughout the whole year. I mean, come on. That was sensational. And anytime I hear that again, I'm going to get addicted to it. But anyway, that was so fun, that ring walk. But yeah, Michael Van Verden with Mitsuhashi Tasumi's next. And then we got the slowest match of the whole round one, Christoph Ratajski and Alexis Toyo this evening. Tomorrow is the last games of round one. And you got games like Ryan Meikle, Jesus Lute, Mickey Mansell, Leonard Gates, Josh Rock, Gemma Hayter as well. And then on the evening session, you've got Nathan Aspinall against Lauren Algan, Keane Barry, Tim Percy, Dal Gurney against Bro Greaves as well. One player to look out for as well. And then we get to the second round games on Saturday as well. But overall, Charlie, my player of the match has been none of the human players. My player of the series so far has been the Ali Pali Wasp, who seems to be getting into every little shot he can to play out for the TV cameras. I mean, we've seen him perhaps a whole week now, all but one of the nights. So the Ali Pali Wasp is my player of the series so far, just for the sake of doing the attention as well. I mean, I'm surprised he's not dead yet. No one has killed him. And I hope he remains alive and all well throughout this tournament. because goodness me, I don't think I want the Ali Pali Wasp dead. Looking at how fun and
Oh,
drama it caused as well.
I'm not. The Ali Pali Wasp was certainly making his comeback again, wasn't he? I'm sure we all can agree on that. But comment down below, guys, what you make to the World Darts Championship. Obviously, continues on. The final obviously will just be after New Year, so please enjoy the Christmas. Obviously, it's going to break up over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, but Boxing Day on the 27th it will resume. So you will have darts up until obviously New Year's Day, and there will be darts. No new darts New Year's Eve. So yes, this World Championship darts is still going on. The biggest ever tournament actually entry list this year as well. So yes, interesting. Now we're going to go on for plank of the week or villain of the week this week. My one is an easy pick. It is the Bondi Beach attack that happened this week. I just want to say I am absolutely outraged. I'm just horrible. I have to say, what was that? Whoever calls this Bondi Beach attack, it was vile. It's obviously this is a very famous beach in Australia. You know, apparently 50. Apparently, the Bondi Beach suspect Navid Akim is who I'm going to give it to. He was charged with 15 counts of murder. I mean, come on. It is a joke what he done. Honestly, he killed innocent civilians. It's a terrorist attack. I believe it was bad. It was a shooting. I mean, many world leaders have been paying their respects. He's been charged 59 offences, including 15 counts of murder, one committing a terrorist act. Akram, 24, was critically injured during the incident. His father, Sajid Akram, 50, was killed in exchange with bees fired at the scene. 15 people killed and dozens of others were injured in the attack, which targeted Australia's Jewish community at an event celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. It was the country's deadliest shooting in nearly 30 years. 1996. I mean, wow. I mean, that is crazy. The case has been adjourned until April of next year. As of Wednesday, 17 people are still being treated in hospital across Sydney. Apparently they're calling to this. They're claiming the suspect was originally from the southern Indian capital of Hyderabad, but had limited contact with family there. So did this person potentially move and flee into Australia? Well, there's been a lot of questions about illegal immigrants coming over. Well, I don't want to gloss onto that. I want to talk about this terrorist incident because this, for me, is clear-cut my villain of the week this week. I cannot fault what he done. It was vile. It was dangerous. It is quite frankly, people like this should definitely be locked up or deserve a death penalty. I mean, it's ridiculous. Honestly, you should not be committing stuff like this. 15 innocent civilians lost their lives in this. And, you know, I'm not sure if Bondi Beach had another famous terrorist incident that happened. It's clear to me that this is a bad... I think easily my villain of the week, Zach, has to go to this. Clear cut.
Yeah, and I'll give it the same as well. I'm also going to give it as well with my one to the Brown University shooter as well, who's still not been arrested yet, I don't believe. There was a person of interest arrested earlier in the week, but then got released because he actually wasn't the cause of the incident. So I have to say, it was a really horrible terrorist incident. What happened in Bondi Beach? I mean, it was blatant terrorism, an attack on all Jewish people and all Jewish communities as well. The fact that this was targeted at Jews deliberately on a day of what should have been a celebration for the Jewish community, turning into a day of horror. Multiple people killed. I think that what was the latest figures? Was it 15 or 20 or something like 15 counts of murders so far at the moment? I think 59 other offensive as well. 59. So 44 are currently still injured, obviously as well. It's 15 counts of murder. That is just quite something as well. But yeah, it was a horrible, evil human being these two were to the two people that were part of this, including him. But I also must shout out as well to the hero that tried to prevent further of this. You may have seen some of the footage going around. There was another person. By the way, and I should point out, given the fact that there have been some very nasty accusations going on, especially at Muslims, that the person who tried to stop this person was a Muslim himself. And I have to say, fair play. I can't remember his name, but fair play to the person who did all their best efforts, whilst the person was, like, shooting. He was, the person that was trying to stop it was, savior actions. I mean, it was absolutely stunning. And it was really, really a special part of the community to see someone try and save lives and stopping an active shooter from killing more people. I mean, I have to shout out the heroics there, but awful stuff to see that a terrorist killing multiple Jewish people on a Jewish holiday. And we also have to mention, as I mentioned in there, the Brown University incident, where a number of some students unfortunately got shot in the premises by another idiotic shooter who rifled guns. The last report I saw was that the Bondi shooter. I don't know where I'm going to find this. Let me just find this here. But apparently, let me go and find this. So apparently, if I remember rightly, that what I read from Fox News is that the person of interest now, apparently they may have identified him, and apparently there might be a search warrant out for him as well, whoever it is. So yeah, I mean, if they can get a search warrant out, that's great. That's a sign that that they may have identified the right person. But yeah, I hope that they can get the right person this time. They believe the shooter used rented vehicle that's the same model, make and model of the car connected to the killing of an MIT professor. Oh, there's a connection going on here as well. Hang on. I get okay. Give me a moment, Charlie. I've just been called.
That's all right. And I just want to quickly go over some Christmas stuff as well, whilst we're here on the podcast, with it being also a Christmas special. Also as well, if you've been celebrating Christmas this year, Merry Christmas to you all around the UK.
Hello, I'm back.
Well, sorry, Zacky's back now. Yeah.
I'm just reading the stuff that was going on. There's some reports that that they've identified the shooter and linked him with another murder, which I don't know what this is about. It's someone with the MIT professor as well, but that's interesting. If that's the case, if there is a link between another murder as well and something else, but that's quite serious if that's the case. If they've identified him as well, we'll see if they've actually got the person and identify him.
So that's the latest news there from that. Now we're going to quickly go over some Christmas things. Obviously, it is a festive special, and I want to include some festive things. Why not? So in terms of Christmas events, you might have seen across around the UK there have been several events, including the Brands Hatch motorsport side of it as well, which I'm going to cover now. Brands Hatch have got a Christmas experience, like a Christmas walkthrough attraction. Like a Christmas light spectacular you can attend for £18 per person. Unfortunately, that didn't run today due to the weather. But you can attend that. You can walk through the woods, explore the circuit grounds. Also, if you would like to fancy driving one of the most iconic racing circuits in the world and the home of the F1 British Grand Prix, Lap of Lights at Silverstone is available up until early January, where you can actually go and experience driving around the circuit in your own car. Also a chance to meet Santa as well, and also see F1 cars and explore the Silverstone Wing with its food courts and luxury food markets as well. That's another thing that you can do. And trust me, I mean, I haven't actually been. I've been thinking about this for a while actually, whether to drive. Do you know what? Driving your car around the iconic Silverstone circuit would be something very interesting to give a go. I wish Brands Hatch done that, where you get to drive around in your own car. That would be quite something actually. But obviously, we've not just got the racing side of things. We also have Christmas events happening around the UK as well. This is some of the things to do in the capital over the festive period. I just found that on here as well. If you've got your kiddies out, um, unmissable places to go. Christmas light. You've also got a book of Christmas lights bus tour that's available until the 4th, 8th to the 8th November, 4th January. Kew Gardens will be available from 14th to the 4th. You can also step inside Hogwarts in the snow from the 15th to the 18th of January. Experience the Chelsea Winter Village with Days of Dazzling Light Trail. That's until the end of December on the 28th. Illuminations London Tour. That's on the 24th. Christmas Day will be that as well. We also have Hyde Park Winter Wonderland. That will run from the 14th of November to New Year's Day, which is the 1st of January. Of course, Hyde Park Winter Wonderland homes many attractions, including the Schwarzkopf roller coaster, Olympia Looping, or Munich Looping, whatever you want to call it. Anton Schwarzkopf built, one of the largest portable roller coasters in the world. You can ride that there as well. The London Transport Museum, the Tower of London, Kensington Palace, and also Paddington Bear. You can go to the Paddington Bear mural, can see the Paddington Bear experience. I believe Paddington is also going to be in Broadway. Tom Fletcher obviously performed on Strictly Come Dancing the other week with the Paddington Bear cast. Obviously, I believe he's going to be in the musical as well, Vic McFly singer. So, certainly very interesting to see Tom Fletcher going into a musical there. And for kids, you've got one Wonderful World of Christmas. Royal Albert Hall's got a number of experiences, including carols. And yes, there's so much to do across London. Like I said, there's also Elf the musical, the Snowman at the Peacock Theatre, Jack and the Beanstalk, Stickman, Pepper Big Family Show, Matilda, the Nutcracker at the Coliseum, 11th of December to the 10th of January. There is so much to do across the UK, not just here in the in London, but across the country. It means that Christmas this year, lots of people will be wanting to spend the festivities with their families, doing events. What are your big recommendations for Christmases for this year? And certainly as well with the 2 motorsport events, as I highlighted earlier on.
Yeah, I mean, I always think that, one of the interesting things that I find could be good, the Silverstone lights and everything like that as well. It sounds a bit biased when I say that, but I mean, but they look generally really, really good. Generally, I like them. I generally, they look really, really fun to be in, as well. And they look so cool. They just look so cool on the screen, everything like that as well. There's a few like a few garden places do like a few light shows as well. I've been to a couple myself. Yeah, so they all look quite interesting. What you've just shown there, and yeah, I'd recommend them all. To be fair, they look really, really cool.
I mean, this is the lap of lights to anyone who's not done it yet. Apparently, it was off for a few years, but it's back in 2025. This is the experience at the track. I mean, look, you can drive in your own car around the home of the British Grand Prix, and I mean that's just actually really unique in a way, because when you drive around.
I mean, who wouldn't love a track day?
Driving around on a winter's experience is really special, it can be if you just look on here, driving around the F1 circuit at Christmas, driving on a track that F1 cars are doing. I mean, look at it. This is the experience here to anyone who's not been. You've got all of what's on offer. This is a little promotional video that he sent us. If it will load up. 50 quid, obviously, tickets. This is what you do. I've got the video on here. Hasn't got a sound. You've even got a little F1 cars on display. That's a Mercedes there. From, I'm not sure it's one of the ground effect cars, but it's one of the Mercedes that was on display there. They've got some F1 cars on display. You've also got the lights as well. You also have, there's even been celebrities. I think David Croft was pictured there earlier. You've got Festive Village. You've also got Santa's Garage, ice skating, where the pit lane is. It's got a Lego group zone, a simulator, the ice track. Also, indulgent flavours with festive hot chocolates. And if you want to upgrade your stay, you get 10% off at the Escapade. And also, I believe, I'm not sure there's a discount covering the Hilton as well. And you can also visit across six select dates the karting circuit, which I have to say, guys, I went actually and had a look at the track. It's open now, I think. It looks quite cool, actually, the new karting track. I really, do you know what? If it's open the next time I go, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm going quite a lot next year because I've got Car Fest. I've got potentially the British GT coming up. I'm going to be making a few trips next year to the circuit, and Car Fest is going to be a big event for me because it's moving to Silverstone from I think Hampshire, from Laverstoke. So it's going to be very interesting. But that's one of the experiences you can do, and that was the Silverstone one. This is the Brands Hatch one. Obviously, that was unfortunately off today due to the weather, but this is the Brands Hatch one, obviously at my local racing circuit, by the way. But yeah, Brands Hatch have also got a smaller event. Obviously, this runs until New Year's Eve. Brands Hatch's one is the Festive Spectacular. I really wanted to do this, but the weather's just been a bit rubbish, sadly, today with the rain. £18, much cheaper, obviously, than the Silverstone one. You basically walk through the woods. Like, you get to walk kind of through the woods as a bar. You get the big lights on the Brabham Straight, the festive food court, as well. Some little fun fair rides. There's a lot. I mean, Brands Hatch's one's smaller, I'd probably say, in terms of it's obviously why the price is cheaper. But you have to say, I mean, Brands Hatch is obviously a local track to us here in kind of Essex. It's not like kind of on the doorstep in Kenton. This circuit obviously is not like Silverstone, doesn't host as major events. I think their major events are the British Touring Cars and GT racing. But you've got to think about it at the end of the day. Brands Hatch is still an iconic track. And, I mean, I've been this circuit plenty of times. I know what it's like, trust me. But Brands Hatch is such an iconic circuit. And, having Christmas at motorsport tracks across the UK really does enhance the fan experience.
Yeah, I have to say, obviously, it's iconic for many reasons. I mean, I didn't realize Brands Hatch do these sort of winter lights as well. But I see it's a brand new thing, so that's really good. I mean, there's rain on select dates as well, from the looks of it, as well. But yeah, Brands Hatch. I mean, that's a great idea to go to do Brands Hatch. Well, I think obviously rather in Silverstone for opportunities as well. Nice to see. But hey yeah, I'd recommend yourself make your way to that if you're also quite interested as well in that. And I imagine there's a lot of interest for it will be in that. Certainly, especially some winter lights there as well.
And you got to think that if you're a local, particularly here in Essex, not say local, but it's like 35, 40 minutes away from where I live. And I think at the end of the day, it's whether you want to make the 2-hour drive up to Silverstone, which I want to do myself as well. But at the end of the day, yes, Brands Hatch will charge cheaper because obviously they are a small circuit. They're not like Silverstone. Brands Hatch is owned by Motorsport Vision, which is Johnny and Palmer's dad's firm. So at the end of the day, Brands Hatch obviously don't host as major events, but they still host the big events. And yes, the event is cheaper on the price tag, but like I said, any event's different. This is Christmas. It's a chance to experience Christmas events, experience what it's like during the festive season, and get the experience of how the circuit really comes alive during this time of the year. especially given all the racing's now off till next year now. It's a chance to experience it in a different way. So that's all the latest news on that. We're going to come back now to the main news. I'm going to talk about America now. Okay, let's talk about the United States. Now, I've been going on. I went online earlier. There's been a lot of news about Donald Trump. I think he made an address to the nation the other day about the United States economy. And Joe Biden was certainly mentioned in his speech
Oh
there
yeah.
as well. As 2025 comes to a close, Donald Trump makes a speech. From what I understand as well, obviously there's been some news about, I think, Venezuela. I think there's been some more news around the Venezuela the Venezuela areas as well. Donald Trump has also been making some more announcements as well. There's also been reports that Dan Bongino, I think, is going to quit the FBI as well, from what I've read up. Or well, it comes as dozens more Epstein photos have now been asked. House Democrats push for the Epstein files moves. Also, Donald Trump signs executive order reclassify marijuana as well. Zach, what's your assessment so far on Donald Trump's latest address to the United States?
Well, I have to say, I mean, he's on a mad one, isn't he? Everything in the past year has been Joe Biden's fault, not mine. Everything's perfect with me, bruv. Yeah. He's also, I mean, you put marijuana as classified as a serious drug again. I mean, yeah, maybe he's the one that's been taking them, would you believe it or not? Yeah, it's how to be in denial speech, really listing his so-called achievements of the year. I just think that the achievement that he's done is chaos, 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 and further chaos as well. And looking forward to more chaos next year, where there is a midterm, by the way. There is a midterm. There's obviously this redistricting wars and rumbles going on, where everyone's redistricting to try and get the best they can out of it and fix the seats for them. Both sides are doing it. And then there's obviously no mention of Epstein, obviously, in Trump's speech. We're supposed to get the files tomorrow legally, but hey-oh, who knows whether we're actually going to get the whole lot, or whether a lot of it's going to be redacted, so that any mention of Donald Trump is redacted out. And then there was the bizarre spectacle today where members of the Kennedy Center voted to rename themselves the Trump Kennedy Center. Except legally, they need an act of Congress to do that, and there doesn't seem to be an act of Congress coming out for that anyway. So, no. It's a bit like the Gulf of America rubbish and all that sort of thing as well. There's no such thing as a Gulf of America. Well, it's the Gulf of Mexico, but they call it America for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't really I don't really understand what the hell's going on there. It's just it was a wild speech. It was an in denial speech. And yeah, it was basically everything was that the other one's fault, not mine. Nothing to see here. The whole world's perfect. Yeah, perfect. That was basically a summary of the speech last night.
So that's from the United States. Moving on to the UK now, where I want to touch on the horrific unemployment rates. Now, I just want to say the unemployment rates have gone up massively this year. And I just want to quickly go over this because, you know, this is a question that needs to be addressed. Unemployment is not ideal at all. It's actually rise to 5.1%. Apparently it's also happened in America as well. Also, it's been reported that vacancies have also the unemployment rate, like the hiring, the companies in terms of hiring people has dropped as well. There's not as many jobs around. This is the news that I want to bring you because I have to say I've seen some vlogs from people what they're posting on YouTube about this and people on social media in general. And being unemployed, it's not good. It's bad for your mental health. And you know, I'm very lucky to have a job at the moment because I'm considering sort of what's happening with mine. And Like everyone's kind of in your position when you're kind of not sure what you're going to be doing. At the end of the day, you've got to make a good decision. And having a job at the moment is the best thing, whether you like it or not. But according to this, 5.1% is right up by 4 percentage point under Labour following April's tax hike as well, including the rising national insurance, which certainly not helped one bit. The UK's unemployment rate has risen further. Official shows that particularly people hit hard by jumper cuts into Labour. 5.1% was up for the Office for National Statistics. 3 months had period dominate the budget. It stood at 4.1 after Labour took office in 2024. As well, the ONS Director of Economic Statisticians, Liz McCowan, said, though the overall picture continues to be weak in the labour market, the number of employees payroll has fallen again, reflecting subdued hiring activity, which firms told there are fewer jobs in the labour. But some people, this guy here has been waiting. Apparently he left his job as a prison officer and has been waiting for about a year to get a job. And, it's just, And apparently I got read up as well that someone in America, there was this YouTube video that went viral. Okay, I don't know what it was, but I saw a YouTube video where someone in America got fired by a live on air. Megyn Kelly actually done I think she spoke about this. Yeah, someone, I forgot the name of the woman, but she basically there was this thing that happened on the news, and someone got fired from their job like right on the spot, and she was like talking out about her boss, like she spoke out about a lot of stuff, and I want to get the video up because I think it's very. Megyn Kelly blamed it on the woke people, like people not using their woke minds, and like I forgot kind of how it was all done. Here we go. I just want to play this video very quickly. I found it now. It was a tech employee. Just have a listen to this. We'll come back onto the news story in just a minute.
There is backlash today after this young woman reported herself.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I have to say, just looking at the figures there as well. Obviously, so let me just mention the Bank of England stuff first of all today. Obviously interest rates have been cut 3.75%. I'm not surprised because the economic figures are interesting. So whilst there is low inflation happening overall, that there is what is happening though is that the unemployment is rising, and that is obviously concerning in that area as well. It is quite. Nothing should be happening like that. There's a lot of blame. Who's caused the inflation and everything like that as well? Why is unemployment? Some of it related to the fact that it could be the government policies, national insurance, very likely as well. But there's also, I've noticed as well, if you see the figures, there is also an increase in youth unemployment, interestingly enough, as well. So that's a key issue to keep an eye out, especially as well. But the economy has not been that fast growing. It might be the third fastest in the G7, but it is quite slow by the UK standards as well. And there is obviously needs to be some measures next year to preserve those concerns. The growth forecasts have been downgraded. So it doesn't look brilliant on the government side of things as well. So yeah, one thing to keep an eye out on.
I just want to play this video very quickly because this video here was someone getting fired live on YouTube. And she actually filmed herself, by the way. This is a tech employee who was Brittany Pissac. I can't pronounce her name. Brittany Pissac, who got fired from her role. She worked in sales at a tech company, Cloudflare, for just 4 months when she was told by 2 HR representatives that she was getting the boot. This is what she was told.
Brittany Peach had been
No.
working in sales at the tech company Cloudflare for just 4 months, and she's being told by 2 HR representatives that she's.
Can you explain for me why Brittany Peach is getting let go?
I won't be able to go into specifics.
Wait, why though? I just started. I've been working extremely hard. It's just very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. I've really given my whole energy and life for the last 4 months to this job. And to be let go for no reason is like a huge slap in the face.
I'm really sorry that you're having this experience and feeling this way.
Many applauded the 28-year-old for standing up for herself. So proud of you, goes just one of the many thousands of comments on social media. But some are taking Brittany to task, including Megyn Kelly.
What this is about is whiny, weak, woke youngsters who don't understand how the world works. And I really think these young people need to understand, work harder, do better, stop blaming others, blame yourself.
The CEO of Cloudflare actually expressed sympathy for Brittany. The video is painful. The mistake was not being more kind and humane. We asked HR expert Deb Mullen.
So, what do you make to that clip? Because obviously, everyone has their experiences of being employed, and obviously, this young woman, Brittany Peach, here, experienced being fired live. She filmed this. What did you make to that? Because obviously, Megyn Kelly mentioned about woke youngsters. What do you make to that?
Well, I mean, filming yourself live and whilst getting fired is a very embarrassing situation as well. I have to say, I mean, it's a very surprising thing. I'm not sure I'd be wanting to see that myself. And all this, I don't know if it's woke stuff or not, what we want to call it, but it was, it's a bit surreal, to be fair. Hearing all of that and seeing what's gone on, and I wouldn't want to be watching the live firing. Let's just say that.
It feels like watching The Apprentice with Alan Sugar. Does anyone remember that when he fires people on the spot? Trust me, The Celebrity Apprentice is coming up over.
I mean, that's blatantly recorded, yeah.
Thomas Skinner will be making a return to that show. Obviously, you might remember him from a previous years ago series on The Apprentice UK, where he was one of the candidates on it, and he will be joined by several others. Obviously, The Apprentice will be back in the new year again as well, so I'm sure you're all going to be watching that. Anyway, we're going to get into a musical interlude now, and then we're going to come back and do our Conversation Street theme segment to finish the show off. And the single for this week, or the musical interlude this week, is a Christmas song. Obviously, it can't be without a Christmas special. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play Michael Bublé's song today. This one is going to be a song that you're all going to like. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Bublé with Christmas, Baby Please Come Home cover of a very famous Christmas song. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Lots of people around. Baby, please come home. The church bells and all ringing song for a happy sound. Baby, please come home. Let's get the heart, but it's not like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here and all the fun we had last year. Pretty lights on the tree, watching the show. You should be here with me. Baby, please come home. Christmas at all. I remember when you were here, all the fun we had last year. Oh, if there was a way, I'd hold back these tears. Oh, but it's a Christmas day. Please, 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 please. You know I need you.
That was their a very special song there by Michael Bublé and Baby Christmas. Christmas Baby, please come home. We're coming, it's literally coming home next week. Christmas. Zach, what did you make? So obviously a week to go now till the big day itself, Christmas Day. And Michael Bublé ringing in those Christmas vibes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is a good classic original there, I have to say. It's one of the better ones that I hear, more iconic ones as well. And yeah, I enjoy listening to that. It's a really good song.
Yes, Christmas, baby, please come home. Christmas is literally 1 week away now. I'm sure we'll all be enjoying the festive days next week. Anyway, time for Conversation Street now. And I'm going to be talking about something which I think has been very much 2025's kind of what we've had a bit more locally now, kind of a big trend this year. And I want to talk about this because it's actually to do with employability. As you guys know, I'm very keen on employability, and I wish people all the best getting into work now. I want to kind of shine a light on what the community's doing to help young people get into work, particularly those with special needs. I'm going to be talking tonight about Together We Can. Now, this is a initiative set up by a guy called Gary Staines. If you're watching the podcast tonight, Gary, hope you're doing well. And yes, I just want to say he's got his own. I've been watching some of this on YouTube. Okay, and obviously, Site Ready Solutions is a company that Gary runs. It helps young people who want to get into the construction industry via different pathways into different sectors of the industry. Like it could be scaffolding, it could be bricklaying, it could be stuff like carpentry and joinery. It could be anything construction related. I feel like there is a lot of things out there that really need addressing because when we kind of highlight about construction in general, it's such a big trend now, and I feel like it's actually one of the fastest companies in the UK in terms of the skills crisis, particularly in the UK. We need more people to get into work, and it's an accelerated route for people getting into construction. I feel like, and I've watched Gary. This is some of the images here of Gary's initiative. Gary obviously travels across much of the UK, and I believe he's actually, I think, a former prisoner. I remember. Actually, we got it on here. Quickly, what I'm on about. This is it here with the Together We Can thing. So one of the news is on here. Of a former prisoner building new career in construction bricklaying. So this is the news here that I found that I really wanted to quickly share with you guys. Here it is in general. Actually, no, I don't think this is Gary Staines. This is someone else. Yeah. So yeah, this is this is obviously in there. Obviously, they met Gary, who is site managing director at GSQ Brickwork. He also has his own training arm, Site Ready Solutions. Gave her a job on one of these projects in Cambridge. Maria stood out really talkatively, great communication. Said, "What I'm looking for is really good attitude. You need a CSCS card to be able to get a job, which is Maria's completed support from the prison. So she's very much do site herself. And basically, she was like a prison officer who became a construction worker. Gary, my man, thank you so much for this. This is great. And also, as well, whilst I'm here, I found out that Gary has also been doing some work with Castleton School down in Wickford. I have to say, okay, when I first saw the video of this go live on YouTube, an ex-staff member, I just want to say, okay, if you're watching the podcast, Michelle Bells, or anyone who's watching it from Castleton tonight, honestly, I'm very proud of you guys for going, for getting in contact with Gary. And Morgan and Sindorf and Helen was on there as well. I'll give a huge shout out because I look like I did see Michelle this week. Actually, I was DJing on Tuesday down at the cafe in Whitford, Aspire, and I was like, I should have spoken to you guys about what was about the initiative because like we need more people, young people, particularly those with special needs who, they've been taught how to do bricklaying, and this expands your employability curriculum. It also, unlocks a potential gateway into the construction industry, particularly when it's so difficult now to get a job. Literally, when you see the unemployment figures, it's a big ask, and like the whole part of it is really good. I mean, this is the thing that this is Castleton here, Castleton at the plant. I've got a video as well which goes with this. I'm actually going to quickly now play for you one of Gary's short video clips whilst I'm here, because I actually really want to give you an idea of what I'm on about, because it's not just that, it's education in general could also be a big part of building people skills and building in general like clearer indications. This is what the video included. Have a listen to the video in full. This was him here working with Carlson School. Have a listen to this and sit through.
That's what we don't edit enough. This always happens. This is what makes it good. Very special about a relationship with school, yes, and building people. Watch this week. We love it. We're really proud of it. Both genuinely big smiles. Honestly, mate, I've gone home and I've got emotional to my wife for what we've done, and that means something. But this is going to be bigger and better things to come. And yeah, just so because just in case anyone see it, there's a golf thing coming to play here. We're actually celebrating this week by playing golf. Yeah. We'll have more about that next week. I think we're allowed to do that, though. We fair. So definitely. Honestly, I kind of knew that our stars were going to align. You do such great work in social value and just generally helping people in this construction industry. Tell me what we got going on today.
So we were working at Castleton, doing a bit of a new build there, and I've been working with some of their students for work experience, and 4 of them were particularly interested in brickwork. And we've done a day of brickwork with our brickwork contractor on site, who were based particularly locally. And then I bumped into you and got chatting, and we thought it might be a good idea if they could come to you and learn to do a bit more brickwork, with the hope that they will then follow through and do some training with you to hopefully end up in the industry.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing it for real today because this is site ready training, so we are the stepping stone to site, as it were. Day one for them really today, and hopefully this will continue. And I mean, our ambitions is they're going to go and work and earn money and help us, the industry, get more people coming through.
I know. Well, for me, it's really amazing because when I started working with these youngsters, I hadn't met you, and I was like, how am I going to help them? Because they'd shown some potential. And bumping into you means that by accident, I'm leaving a bigger legacy than we'd originally meant to. And hopefully there'll be a longer term relationship with Castleton to help other students that Michelle has going through their system to come into the sector, because these young people Castleton, for those that don't know, is a special educational needs school. These young people are less likely to get into employment because of barriers and people's perception.
Yeah.
And I'm really keen to show, with your support and the fact what you're doing here, will show that actually anybody can access brickwork if that's their passion.
I think construction overall is a job for everyone in construction. Doesn't matter what size, what ability, what diversity. There's a job for everyone in our industry, and we know because we've been in the industry for a long time. We've come across all sorts of people, all different backgrounds. But I think the bit where you said about legacy is like something I lack.
This was some more pick video.
Listening is key. Listen, and then hard work. So doing it repetitive. We can do it, mate. It changes the industry. It's what's needed. So the skill what skills do we need? Zero skills, mate. You need zero skills. What you do need is to listen, and you need to be prepared to work hard. That is one thing I will say. Brilliant. So brilliant. You must be happy with yourself. Yeah? Brilliant stuff. So that's good. So we do it together. Then seeing it together we can. Back at Barking. Earlier on we spoke to the lovely Helen from Augustindal. Now I've got the equally lovely Michelle. Michelle, where are you from?
I'm from Castleton School and I'm the careers lead for Castleton School. So I support all of our young people into work.
Tell me a little bit more tell everyone about Castleton School.
Oh, Castleton School is an amazing school. It's a SEND provision. So we take young people from the age of 5 right the way through to 19 and we support them all the way through all of their challenges to help them achieve their aspirations.
And their aspirations generally? I mean, I suppose they're a mixture.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big mixture of aspirations. I mean, obviously tech is a big one now, and anything to do with games design or gaming in general. There's always a lot to do with animals and animal care. They always love things like that. But over the recent years, we've seen a lot more of our young people really enjoying things like brickwork, mechanics, and those more practical trades, which previously we've found really hard to kind of get into and get them into, because obviously academics are a little bit of a challenge for them, English and maths in particular. So some of these jobs have felt kind of out of their reach. So we've been working really hard with our young people, tracking their aspirations to make sure there's opportunities for them.
More backgrounds, but what we've seen is that I'm passionate about. I love the job anyway, but it's a job for everyone. Absolutely everyone. And obviously met you via Helen, and you told me. I said, are they going to be ready? And you said they'll be ready.
They'll be ready.
And I think we've seen today, day one.
They're ready.
Yeah,
they are ready.
They're loving it.
Yeah,
and
we're having a great time.
Yeah. So. One, two.
Honestly, Gary, my man, could I just say, watching that video, I think proves to you why people like Gary are important voices, to help people get into construction. I mean, Zach, when you listen to video there, there's a lot of potential behind this move, behind this campaign. And I think, there's potential for this really to take off potentially. And obviously giving Carlton Education, SEN provisions a chance for the students to go on site, learn these skills. It could be essential to help them get into the workplace.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Gary's contribution to the projects and getting the others to help out is just sensational. I mean, he's put a lot of effort into what he's done and making sure that there's just plenty of work around and the projects that he does and everything like that as well. It's really sensational what he does, and fair play, because it's really enjoyable as well. And what he does, it's really, really good.
I have to say, I only literally spotted this, and this was how I got into it. I literally spotted it through that video, and then it's been other people that have been on these projects, other people that have been documenting their journeys, and Gary's been, helping them through. It's amazing, honestly. I'm very proud of Gary for this, and I think, more people need to tap into this space. It's an industry that it is difficult, and I've got a mate of mine who works in scaffolding, and it's a tough job, and it's when you're doing construction in general, anything with scaffolding, brickwork, if you're working on a building site, with cranes and stuff, it's a tough job. I mean, that construction workers, especially, it's a tough job for them. It's long hours, full-time work, long hours. You could be on projects for weeks. It's a intense job, and these industries obviously rely a lot on the government, for funding and stuff. These are important industries for the UK economy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, most of the work is construction these days is obviously dependent on what the government does and what their projects are as well. So it's a big relying on what's happening, obviously, as well. So yeah, this work is just incredibly important, really, and none of this can be happening without permission, consultation, all this planning permission, all that sort of thing as well. There's a lot of loops and hurdles and regulations that you have to struggle with, and everything like that as well. So to see this all come out is just brilliant.
Definitely. I mean, Gary, if you're watching the pod tonight, if you're tuning in, watching, I just want to say a huge well done to you. I mean, this has been a huge success, a very successful initiative, and I hope 2026 brings forward a new lease of life, and I'm hoping 2026 brings forward a lot of new aspirations, for career aspirations for people, and I look forward to watching them on YouTube. It'll be great fun. I get to learn. I really want to learn more about this. Definitely, it'd be great to learn more. And if you want to come on the pod for a chat one night, I'm happy for you. So that's fine. I'd love to find out more about this, honestly. And, I think it'd be such a great honor to talk to. It'd be a great honor, because when we get these rare finds, when people are that important, and champion stuff like this is really important. And I want people to succeed in work, definitely, and having some people like Gary, it's just inspirational. And I think we need more people like him, because we get people from all different industries have championing their industries, championing their sectors. I mean, Zach, there's loads of people out there that do it and champion their sectors, and it's important to encourage that. It's empowerment to get young people into work, particularly those who also are on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, all this is just really important. Everything that goes into it, funding, permission, planning, all that sort of thing. But just building communities and everything like that. I mean, planning is just getting construction is a really hard thing these days. Opposition, all that sort of thing as well, and getting communities behind it. It's just really difficult at times. But anyway, those who do the work are just brilliant, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, really, really, really good work, everyone.
And if you are a school or a college, and you want to expand your employability curriculum, Gary is definitely a great one to get in contact with. I honestly, and there's so many provisions that offer it. Site Ready Solutions is a place that I think could really help you, and there's so many other places as well that do it. So yeah, that's all we're going to say. But that unfortunately brings us to the end of the Tonight Show podcast. For the Christmas special, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's tuned in this year to watch the show. Honestly, it's been great keeping up with all the news, and I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas and New Year as well. Because obviously, as we record this now, next Thursday will be Christmas Eve. Following Thursday will be New Year's Day, and I want everyone to have a great New Year. And Zach, obviously, it's the end of a big year. What's been your big highlights for 2025? In terms of the political and the sporting world?
Oh, loads of stuff. I mean, yeah, there's just so much that's happened in terms of chaotic things in the world of politics. Obviously, the Trump and everything like that as well. The government being wish-washy at times, you have to say as well. There's been lots of elections, some of the Trump effect happening that has not exactly benefited him. The Jeffrey Epstein story's gone on for so long as well. Rachel Reeves, the budget and all that sort of thing as well. It's been a bit chaotic, I have to say, overall this year in terms of the politics side of things. And I'm sure it won't change next year as well. There's going to be some load of stuff happening there as well. But that's 2025 for you. I look forward to even more chaotic 2026. I'm sure there'll be lots of stuff along the way. that makes it a lot's going to be happening.
Well, we have a chaotic end to 2025 because this weekend Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul fight off as well. And I think this match, honestly, is a complete ridiculous bubble bath for Jake Paul. That I think Anthony Joshua will definitely knock him out. And also as well, I think one of the highlights definitely for this year for me was to see a 11th British driver, or actually Lando Norris, become the first British driver since Lewis Hamilton to win the World Championship, Formula One. First McLaren driver since Lewis Hamilton to win in 2008, win the F1 World Championship. His maiden championship win. And, Formula One obviously go to new regulations next year, Zach, as well. 2026 bring new cars, new designs, a new engine. It's going to be a big year next year for F1, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. A lot's going to be happening next year in the world of things as well, especially sport as well. But hey, it's going to be a lot of fun to look forward to. Certainly a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fun anyway.
So Formula One obviously was the big highlight with that as well. And also as well, I think the other highlight this year was Ferrari. I think it was Robert Kubica winning Le Mans 24 Hours in a Ferrari. I mean, that was like very a huge moment for him to win that race. So just in general, there's been so much great racing this year, but particularly from the motorsport side of things as well. And in general, just the world of sport in general, there's been so much. And I believe as well, Rory McIlroy has just won sports personality of the year tonight as well. From what I've seen, I think the sports personality's been on as we speak. So yes, it has certainly been. I'm just getting it up now for you. Who's won? And yes, it was officially confirmed that it was won by Rory McIlroy as well this year. As well, sadly, Lando Norris and Luke Littler missed out. And if you wanted to know, Rory McIlroy obviously is a golfer, and of course, has had a very resurgent year, with golf, in terms of, winning tournaments. I think he won a major this year, as well, did Rory McIlroy. So certainly, that was at the I think he won the Masters. So won the Masters back earlier in the year. So well done to Rory. Great return as well. But that is it, guys, for the Tonight Show podcast for 2025. Thank you so much for watching. And also have a great Christmas. We'll see you again in January for more news on the show. Take care, everyone. Merry Christmas from me and Zach. And good.